family. My name is Miss Sonia. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, you're highly welcome to the family. If you're an old subscriber, thank you for always tuning in and thank you for all your comments and likes. Please do not forget to share, like, subscribe to my channel and comment. On this channel, we talk everything about real estate and financing. So in today's video, without taking so much of your time, we are going to be talking about why your rental history is important when you're in the process of buying a house. So although some lenders might not actually require some of these or really focus on your rental history as per se like a whole requirement, some others do, okay? And your rental history could come in place of some other requirements or some other things that are asked of you and you couldn't provide. So you could use rental history for some other things. So it just depends on the lender. But however, is our rental history really important? Yes, it is. Because at the end of the day, they want to make sure that you were paying your landlords or whoever you were renting from, right? So that they are sure that you're equally going to pay them, because they are giving you a loan. Even though your landlords were not giving you a loan, of course, you were actually staying in their property, so of course you were paying them rent. And this mortgage is technically almost like paying rent, right? It's just a different term, and just like it has its own things capped into it. But however, they want to make sure that you'll be able to pay them the money that you borrowed. So why is your rental history important, right? So the first reason why your rental history is important is for the lender. Number one, payment history. The lender to be able to know your payment history. Your rent will actually always go a long way to show your payment history. If you were consistent, if you were paying late, if you defaulted on your rent, all those things, right? It will show, because most of these apartments or renting corporations actually have where they can actually go and draw your rents, right? Some of them make you pay your rent online. So if you have to be paying your rent online, of course they have a history of it. And even when you pay your rent, some people pay with money order, some people might pay with cash. Most of these landlords actually do have they do have a history of every payment you made to them. Of course, you want to equally make sure they have a history of you making all your payments and making your payments on time, because you never know, right, what is going to happen. Even if you're renting from a family member, or some people say I'm renting at a basement, or you're renting with somebody else, right? Make sure they either give you a receipt or they have something that they're keeping to show you that you've been paying your rent for the past few years, because this might be the only thing that can help you qualify after you submitted all other documents and now you're a little bit stuck and they say, hey, if you have your rental history for the past 12 months, past 12 to 24 months, this can be a game changer. And now you go to that landlord and you can't provide it, you'll be at risk and be at a loss at that moment. So that's the main reason why they want to know your rental history, because like I said, it provides insight to your ability to make consistent payment at a timely manner, which is what they want. They want to make sure that after giving you this mortgage or this loan, you'll be able to pay them back consistently and in a timely manner. Number two reason for you to have a good rental history is credit evaluation. So most of the time when you're paying, there are some of these apps that actually let you put your rent under your credit, so it can equally help to boost your credit, right? Some of us work so hard to actually get good credit, but we really don't know the things that we can actually put into our credit to actually have a good credit score. So yes, some of these new apps, even I think maybe some property managers, they can help you with this, right? To put your rents into your credit. So it basically, um, even though it might not somehow appear in your credit report, but some lenders may consider alternative credit data. They could, like I said, including your rental payment history. So that's the credit evaluation. And some of them just have to make sure that your landlord verify all these things. Or a third party vendor that they might be using. Maybe your landlord is using the property manager and they have a website or a database that they can pull all these things from. And like I said, some of these other new apps can actually let you put your credit into your history. So it goes a long way, and they just want to make sure that all these things can be proven. Okay, credit evaluation. The third reason why you need to have a rental history is debt to income ratio. Yeah, most of the time when we do these things, right, we of course know that before they actually loan you this money, they have to know how much you're owing, how much income you're making, um, how much it's actually going out of your paycheck each month. At the end of the day, you still make payments on different bills, right? Before you have your remainder money, which is going to be your income. So your rental history can contribute to assessing your debt to income ratio, which is important, an important factor in your mortgage underwriting, right? So whenever you have all these things, they want to make sure your expenses are not going to be more than what you're making. So if you are already having to pay so much in rent, light bill, or other things, not with other debts that you already have, all those things, there's money that has to come off your paycheck. So at the end of the day, how much will you have left? So they want to make sure that your debt to income ratio is enough or okay for them to actually grant you that loan. Because a strong rental history can help offset the impact of a higher debt to income ratio, okay? Because of course, if your debts are higher than how much you're making, that means it will actually affect your overall debt obligation and may impact your qualification ratio. So if you already have so much debt, there will be some red flags saying, if I'm giving this person this money, they already have so much debt. How are they going to pay me back? So those things are taken into consideration, and your rental history can be of help when it comes to some of those things. So the number 4 reason is, like I said at the beginning, it could be an alternative document. You never can tell. These things, everybody is different when it comes to you going to a lender trying to get this loan to get a house. Okay, not two people are the same. They can ask me for different documents, and they can ask you for different documents, even though both of us, right, are making income. We could be working for the same company, but your situation is not going to be my situation, and how much I'm taking might not be the same amount you're actually taking. So they could be different alternatives, even if they have a long list of requirements that they can ask. Of course, maybe not all of them will apply to you, correct? So number 4, it could act as an alternative document. In some cases, if you have a limited credit history or unable to provide traditional income documentations, maybe your W-2, maybe self-employment paperwork, or maybe like 1099s. Of course, your rental history can serve as an alternative document source, and it can be of help to you because, of course, this underwriters will use this as to understand your financial stability. It goes a long way to tell a lot about us, about what we actually do, about how we make payments, how we spend our money. Okay, so this could be an alternative document, and if you pay your rent consistently and on time, of course they could use this as a substitute or some other documents in which you weren't able to provide. Okay, and number 5, it could be as your rental reference. I think you always have to, of course, you have to fill an application. So I'm sure they'll always ask you, who was your previous landlords and all those things, right? So it could act like your rental reference in case underwriters request for rental reference to verify your tenancy or your behavior as a tenant or even the conditions of the property that you were actually staying, right? So this could act as a reference. If they have your history of paying that rent, of course, they will know who was your landlord. Even if you stay there for just 1 year, a couple of years, or few months, that will act like your reference, right? And they can actually go there to know more about you. They can go there, ask your landlord. They can tell your landlord can tell if you were a good tenant or not. They can tell if you were paying your rent on time, right? And all those things. And even if they don't have this website that they can actually go pull out your data, some of these landlords, let's say you were paying with cash, of course they can go to them and ask them, and they give you the rent, they give them the rental history, and then ask them questions about you, which might go a long way to qualify you when you're actually going to buy the house, because of course you need this loan most of the time, right? That's why we need references. They want to know our personality, they want to know something about us, if we are responsible, if we are capable of paying them back, of course. So that's why most places always need a reference. Okay, so those are the 5 reasons why your rental history is actually important. Like I said, not all lenders could consider this, but is it a good thing for you to actually have rental history? Yes, because you never know where it could be of help to you. And they could actually just take a look at your rental history and might be waive some of the other things that don't look right. Okay, so thank you for watching to the end of this video. Please always remember that my videos are just for educational purposes. Make sure you ask all these questions to your lenders, to your banks, or to whoever is going to be your underwriter, and do your own research, right? Read. Do a lot of research. There are so many things, so many websites you can actually do your research and gain knowledge before actually stepping into all this. And if you're asked about it, of course, then you have a knowledge about what is actually required of you. So do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave comments. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comments section. And thank you always, as usual. Please stay safe and healthy until next time. If you want to read more about my book, I'm going to leave the link at the bottom in the description box. Thank you. Bye.